Yo, I'm not gonna lie, growing up in the hood is kind of crazy. And if you anything like me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. See, some of y'all was fortunate enough to live in a nicer community with good neighbors and front lawns with grass. Oh yeah, you heard me. No grass, just straight dirt. Little specks of grass, but it was just dead yellow grass and just straight dirt. Not only did you have straight dirt out there, but you just had litter everywhere. I'm talking about honey bun wrappers, Faygo bottles, used condoms on the ground, nigga. It's needles on the ground. Y'all ever seen that shit before? That was what I seen when I used to go outside. You know, unfortunately for me, I was another victim of the system, and I grew up in a cesspool of ignorance and poverty, especially being in the trenches of Chicago, which for some reason has a bad reputation. I don't know why, but y'all should actually come and visit because O Block is not that bad as they make it seem. Looking back at it now, honestly, it's not even that bad of a thing because low-key, it built hella character. Like, imagine growing up not ever having a struggle meal, or never being in your first fight in the hood, man, or never stealing out the store for the first time, you know? All of those are things I experienced when I was living in the hood. Like, I remember my first time having ramen noodles with chopped up hot dogs. Like, I used to chop my hot dogs up into little slices and dip them into the ketchup with the fork, and I promise, I have no recollection of me ever going in the refrigerator and finding something in there, like ever. The only time I went into the kitchen and got something was either for some fucking hot dogs, which I had to ask for, noodles, which I had to ask for. I didn't know how to make these things myself. I was a fucking kid. The best thing I could make in the kitchen was a fucking syrup sandwich. I would get 2 pieces of bread, nigga, and I will get some syrup and I will pour it on the slices of bread and slap that shit together and eat that shit, nigga. Sometimes I even used to get some sugar out the pantry, bro. I used to get some sugar out the pantry and sprinkle little sugar on the syrup sandwich and eat that shit, bro. And I know y'all know about Kool-Aid, right? Now imagine having no Kool-Aid, but you got sugar and water. So instead of making Kool-Aid, you make sugar water, bro. You get some water and you pour the sugar into the water and stir that shit up and drink it, bro. Just for something sweet to drink. That is crazy. Not only that, if you want a little icy, you want to put a little pizzazz on it, go ahead, throw that joint in the freezer, freeze it, and lick it like an icy, bro. Like, don't get me wrong at all. I was not a good kid at all. I was not a good kid. And I would try to be good, but I used to get my ass whooped all the time. I used to stay with my grandma. Like, I ain't used to stay with her, but I would always get dropped off at my grandma's house. And she lived in the hood. So I would always be around this shit anyway. In my head, I kind of got like this stereotype of people that live with their grandmas. Usually the motherfuckers that live with their grandmas end up being murderers, or like the girls end up being like some crazy succubus thought or something, just fucking the whole neighborhood and all type of shit. I don't know why, but that always seems to be the case. Most of the time I was outside doing whatever I wanted. I ain't gonna lie. Imagine, like I said, I'm young, man. I'm like 8 or 10 years old, man. I'm just outside ripping and running, doing anything, bro. And going outside as a kid was so fun. I know all y'all had that little one rule where you couldn't come back in the crib if you ran in the house one too many times, bro. If you ran back into the crib like 3 or 4 times, it don't matter what you was doing. If you was coming to get something to eat, coming to get some water, bro, you wouldn't be able to go back outside. Simple as that. Like, I come up to come get a drink of water, and now I can't come back outside because I came in one too many times. Now I gotta stay outside and figure out a way to hydrate myself as I'm exerting all this energy. So you know what we'll do? We'll go on the side of the crib, we'll find a little water hose, and we'll drink the water out the water hose so we wouldn't have to stay in the crib. And thinking about it now, drinking water out the water hose is like some of the most trifling shit you can possibly do, bro. And that's not even the nastiest shit that has ever went on outside, bro. I remember one time we was trying to practice backflips and doing backflips and shit. I was trying to learn how to do backflips. You know what Duke Dennis be saying? Everybody in the hood know how to do a backflip. Nigga, I never learned how to do a backflip, nigga. So lucky you. We used to go into the backyard because it actually was grass back there, crazy enough, but it was never like mowed or nothing. We found this dirty ass mattress in the alleyway. Now, one thing a black parent will never let you do, and that is touch furniture that has been outside. Because you want to know why? Because it might have bed bugs. And guess what we did? We pulled that dirty ass mattress out the alley, put that bitch in the backyard, don't know where it came from, and we start flipping on that motherfucker and wrestling on that bitch, bro. Like I was a really dirty ass kid. I used to play in dirt, bro. I used to play in dirt and I used to pick up ants and act like I was a god to the ants. I used to have the ants in my hand, crawling up my hands. Used to tell my friends, look, like I'm the ant king. Like, what, bro? And it don't matter how many friends you got in the hood, none of your shit is ever safe. Anybody will steal from you. I remember one time I got a brand new ass mongoose. And if you know about mongooses are like the Lamborghinis of bikes in the hood, bro. That's just the bike, bro. So I got a brand new spanking new mongoose. This is the first time I learned how to ride a bike too, man. I remember I had so much fun that day. Rode it for one day. Once the day ended and I had to go back into the house, my dumb ass put my bike under the porch. I came back outside the next day, that bike was gone, boy. And speaking about friends in the hood, nobody is really your friend in the hood because they will turn on you in the blink of a fucking eye. Like I had so many times where I thought I had friends, something end up happening, and then next thing you know, now don't nobody fuck with me. Or like the friends that surround you will influence you to do bad shit. And as a kid, you're not gonna think twice about doing some shit that your friends told you to do or that you getting peer pressured into doing. And it's not even peer pressure because you're not getting pressured to do it. You just don't really know no better. So you just do it anyway. Like that's how I got pressured into stealing something from the store. It was a candy store in the neighborhood and I never used to have money. Like my grandma sent me to that candy store with an actual 100 pennies, bro. It might have been more than that, but I know for sure it was 100 pennies. And we had them niggas up in that candy store counting all them pennies just to make $1. They always had their candy out. It wasn't like all their stuff was put up. They had stuff sitting out and they had stuff behind the counter. But the stuff you could steal was kind of like the 25-cent candy and all that. Jolly Ranchers and Airheads and stuff like that. And one day I was in the store with my friends and I seen them taking it. You know, they ain't get caught. Shit, you know, why the fuck not? So I end up grabbing it and putting it in my pocket. And I got away with it too. But man, that's like literally just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to all the stuff that be going on in the hood, bro. Like if you found anything relatable in this video, leave a like and leave a comment on something, especially if I forgot anything, because I'm pretty sure whatever went on with y'all, if y'all had experienced any of this, that I'll probably have experienced it as well. So, you know, let me know.